Welcome to the MadTrio podcast. This week we have the California Pariah, Jonathan Charney, James, the Fat Man Stevens, and Ryan, it's okay to be me, Preston. So, how was everybody's Christmas?
Acceptable.
Acceptable?
Yeah. Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Well, you already sound like you had a better Christmas than fucking James.
I just gotta hang on with my kid. That was good enough.
And my Christmas was cool.
Good. I went out to my folks' house in Arizona.
Awesome. Get to shoot any guns?
No. Although every morning I wake up, I hear the rifle range a couple miles away.
I've heard they call it the Arizona Salute.
Yeah, it was weird though. The first time I went out there because it's so damn quiet, in that place. I'm used to fucking ice cream trucks going by every 5 minutes.
Taco trucks.
Every single weekend there's some neighbor having a party or something. And
okay, question.
Just the general traffic.
Are you there?
But out
Ryan?
there it's so fucking quiet, man. Like you just don't hear shit. So
At least it wasn't a Mexican wedding.
Oh no! I mean, I have those here all the time. Yeah.
Those last all night.
So were they playing mariachi music? My parents have Hispanic neighbors now, and every once in a while they like whoever plays the mariachi music. They like it on decimal level 100 because you can hear the words from my parents' porch, and it's like 9.5 acres away.
Yeah,
it's like, damn. For Christmas, I got something I've been wanting for a while. I got a turntable.
Oh, nice.
It's like 30 plus years old, which is cool. I've never had a record player, so this has been like a learning experience.
Are you going to turn into one of those record snobs where you go to stores and just hang out there all day like fucking High Fidelity?
No. Probably not. One of the reasons why is I wanted to hear some music in, like, how my dad heard it, or because CDs and digital music is too clean, which is funny because they tried to put noise into it, which records had naturally. But the reason why I originally wanted to get one is the Moody's Blues' album called The Days of Future Past. And it's an amazing album. It's actually one of my favorite albums, but I really want it on vinyl. Just, if you guys haven't heard it, search it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's one of my favorite albums by the Moody Blues. Just because it's such an experimental album of the 60s. It's actually like a movie.
I'm a big Moody Blues fan in general.
Oh, see, you know the album then.
Yeah, that's some underrated shit.
So do you know the album Days of Future Past?
I don't know if I know that one. I mean, I probably know some songs from it, if not the album itself.
It has a lot of speaking parts in it, so it seems to have like acts. So every song is an act. So some songs end with this kind of little bit of a diatribe, and it goes into another song. It's really cool. It's one of the first albums I've heard like that. It vaguely reminds me like how it's kind of like a story. Is if you ever listen to Jethro Tull, a lot of Jethro Tull's early albums were actually stories, and every song was an act in that story. Not musically, because Jethro Tull and Moody Blues are completely different.
Moody Blues and Jethro Tull are definitely not the same.
I like Moody Blues better because there's no guy playing the fiddle standing on one leg while wearing green tights.
Well, for the record, when I'm listening to the fucking record, I can't see him standing on one leg, and the guy can fucking flute.
No, this is true. If it comes to being a flutist, he's probably the best flutist I've ever heard. I'm sure there's better flutists out there. I mean, as far as some good flutists in the London Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, but how many play in a rock band?
They're playing fucking... Exactly, that's my point.
I mean, there's...
I'm just wondering how many times you guys are going to say flutist.
I was going to say flautist or something like that, but I just decided I'd try to pronounce it correctly.
With an accent,
Yeah. So I'm excited on it. I think I fucked up the needle, and it's the thing that really amazed me is like record players, because mine's a Technics, which is a really good, it was a really quality brand. I think still is. But how much was required to set it up? Because you have to balance the tone arm, and when you get the needle or in the cartridge, you have to figure, okay, how much that weigh, and add it to it so it goes down. And because as a kid, everything I've ever had that plays any sort of music, whether you're talking about like a tape player or a CD player or even a DVD player, you plug it in and everything's is good to go. So it's been kind of a really cool knowledge and learning experience trying to figure this all out.
Yeah, I like playing with analog shit like that. You know, like that's definitely a goal of mine is to get a record player because I definitely want to turn into the guys from High Fidelity. That's like a lifelong goal.
I have to say though, as a guy who's brand new in the turntables, everybody starts. Dear record snobs, when somebody's asking you for help, learn to dumb it down enough so they understand it, then go up. Because getting people
and then also learn to only answer the question that was asked and not go into a 4-hour explanation of 10,000 other things that nobody asked about.
Yeah, unless somehow it fits within to what they're asking about. Because I was asking about, okay, how do you set it up? This record player has been in long-term storage for like 30 plus years. So that's how long it hasn't been used. So my cousin went through it, and I was asking people on Facebook, and like, okay, what you need to do is you need to balance it out. Then what you want to do is get a protractor, get a weight balance, and just explaining all this. And I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. There's a weight on the back of a record player. Because.
Did you get into the flux capacitor too?
Because when I was a kid, my dad had this really badass record player that literally had A and B. So it was completely automatic. You push A, it would load the record. When you're done with that, you hit B, and it would play that record. So I never had an ability to see one that was semi-automatic. That's what this one is. I think it's the SL 1700. So that was like...
I love the term semi-automatic in reference to things that aren't firearms.
Oh yeah, I was semi-giddy just because I thought it was hilarious. But no, this has been a really cool experience for me, just kind of learning. Because I'll be honest, it also seemed like a little over my head because you ask all these questions you read online. They're on like nuclear physicist level of explanations when I just wanted the redneck, you just put this like this and do this. Like, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the idiot's guide to setting up a record player. I did not fucking get that.
There probably is.
And by the way, I'm looking for that guide to just about everything, fucking biochemistry, physics, anything you can explain to me with the redneck version, I'm in.
Because that's
there's a Reddit out there. What is it called? Explain it to me like I'm 5 or something like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking go down the rabbit hole on that.
So it does exist.
But that's how I get into things. I find the base level oversimplification, and if I'm really digging it, then I go deeper. Then I can have the conversations with the nuclear physicist guys instead of acting like a monkey doing a math equation, going, what's that? Because holy shit!
This is a wheel, John. It goes around.
It's been fun. I think I fucked up the needle. So right now I'm trying to.
You got to get those good needles. Apparently.
Right now I just really. So my cousin also gave me his all his records. So I picked up, I think it's the first Boston LP record. So. I was like, sweet, I like this record. I can't wait to listen to it. And then it's like I got home, it's like, why isn't this working? And then I went down the rabbit hole. It's like, what the fuck? I have to set this up? What is this? Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 30-year technology. Okay, time to rewind. This shit's not digital. But I'm excited about it. One of the reasons why is because I'm kind of a snob when it comes to certain things. I like playing and listening to things in its original media. Some records I want to really listen to because on the whether it's stereo vinyl or a mono record player vinyl, I want to hear that, the hiss, the pops, because there's a romanticism attached to that, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, we've talked about this before, but just the idea of having this sort of like appointment listening time, like I'm going to sit down and listen to a record, like nobody does that anymore. Nobody sits down with remember when people used to sit down and you'd pull the liner notes out of the album and sit there and read them while you're listening to the first couple of tracks, maybe even go over the lyrics or something if they were in there.
I heard
your activity at the fucking moment was listening to music. Not listening to music and jogging, or listening to music and watching TV like I've seen people do.
There's James Hetfield was actually talking about that. He said, because I think he has kids that are under 10, or is around that age. He was talking about getting his kids a record player, because he said the same thing. Is like, everybody listens to music, but nobody listens to it. You know, everybody's like, you're jogging, you're watching TV, you're doing, you know, list your activity. And he said, like I said, nobody listens to it. And he said, so each of his kids bought a record, or they picked up an album, and they were like, he said they bought albums like he did. It's like, oh, hey, this one looks cool, I'll get this one. Oh, this one looks cool. Like, don't know nothing about band, just went off the artwork. And they said they were really digging just listening to music. And I was like, that's kind of what I wanted, because at this point, I'm not super into television. So it'd be kind of cool. At the end of the night, you know, like my wife goes up to sleep, I'll put a Boston album and listen to it. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and then you imagine the, you know, because obviously you're not going to be downloading all this shit from iTunes. You know what I mean? So it's going to be the act of going to the record store. There's going to be some effort involved in thumbing through the milk crates and going, oh, I like this album. Let me grab the vinyl. And then taking it home, like the whole drive home, like, oh, I'm going to fucking listen to the shit of this record. And then actually going home, dusting it off and putting it on. The whole thing leading up to, I'm going to enjoy this time.
I feel like I'm the only person I know, maybe present company excluded. I don't buy dick off of iTunes. I don't like digital music. I'm old enough where I like physically having the medium. Now, if I have the CD and I want to burn it so I can rip it to listen to it that way, I want to do it. But I like to actually have the CD or the record or the 8-track or name whatever the fuck it's on. I prefer that. And so I've bought maybe 20 songs off of iTunes, and that's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I do digital music, but mostly I just kind of pay for like Spotify subscription access to basically at the moment.
I listen to Spotify. I listen to Spotify free, which is fine. I actually don't mind the commercials because half the time it's a good break from what I'm listening to.
Man, I do. I mind the commercials immensely, and it's worth the freaking $9 a month to not hear that shit.
Actually, what I prefer,
you're spoiled.
What I prefer is Pandora.
I know, I am.
I like. I actually like the fact Pandora plays similar songs. You know, like if I play 1960s and I'm saying okay this, and it picks up, you know, gives me a darker shade of pearl, then it goes, darker shade of pale, then it'll go into like the box tops, and I like that versus Spotify because I've actually discovered some bands I really like off of Pandora. There's a band called, Black Dahlia Murders. I think it's considered death metal that I like.
I haven't heard of them.
And so I like that part of Pandora because I discover more stuff that way.
Yeah, Black Dahlia Murders. I want to say they're local. Like around me. I want to say they're an LA-based band, if I remember right. I could be mistaken. Probably am.
I have to admit,
assume that nothing I say is correct.
I never do.
I have to admit, though, that once I started wanting to getting a record player, and I'm looking at getting a replacement mini needle because I borked the one that was on there, hoping this works, and I started looking up record shops and just said, okay, Ryan's in LA, let's see what happens. There's a lot of record stores in LA.
Yes, there are. Yeah. There is a lot of record stores.
Everybody I kept reading to was saying Amoeba Records, but I swear I remember that one closed down.
It did, yeah.
Because there was an interview.
Gone.
Somebody was saying,
but there's so many little boutique spots, man, that you don't even really need Amoeba.
What?
The Black Dahlia Murder is an American death metal band from Waterford, Michigan. Yeah, right around the corner, Ryan.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah, that's right down the street.
Yeah, you can flick a nickel at them.
Michigan, Los Angeles County. Maybe I'm just thinking about the actual Black Dahlia murder.
That would make a lot more sense.
That's a famous Hollywood case.
Yeah.
Which
which is still not solved to this day. They think they know who did it, but the guy's dead, and they never really found any definitive proof.
When it comes to band names, I thought that was a pretty decent band name.
That's interesting. I never even heard of the band.
That's how because I was like,
I've heard of the murder.
I was in one of these moods. It's like, okay, I need something death metal or I'm going to punch something. So I just typed in death metal and that was the first song that came on. And I'm like, Ooh. Then I went to Spotify and listened to all the albums I could find of theirs.
Yeah, it's
If
still,
they're on Spotify, I don't
it's
remember.
funny. It's actually not a fully closed case, but the son of the doctor who they believe actually committed the murder, like, released the guy's journal and a few other items that basically implicate the dad, but they don't really have any definitive proof.
By the way, who writes that shit down? I killed a famous star today. I don't.
I chopped her up in little tiny pieces and I left her out in the middle of this field.
I fucking wish serial killers would write that shit down. Fucking keep a journal. I mean, I hate more than anything. I mean, maybe slightly less than you actually killing somebody as a serial killer. But the idea that it's been like 50 years and just here's all these open-ended questions. You know
what the most amazing?
Well, Charles Manson
I hate an unsettled murder case.
Manson died.
Oh yeah, he did die recently, huh?
You know what? You bring that up. You know what the most amazing thing to me about that is, like, how eventually there's a story revolved around it. Like Jack the Ripper, they have no idea who the guy is. There's been 1,001 different ideas, from it was really a woman hooker to some sort of demonic devil. Yeah. It's
right.
I love the fact that there's some sort of mystique around it. I think that's
Mystic.
really.
You think he was like sacrificing their?
But I mean, dude, how
be.
many legends have popped up around shit that we actually know the real story for? I mean, it's just because we know what happened doesn't mean that we're now going to lack all the cool legends that go along with it.
Well, one of my favorite ones that still is a legend is H.H. Holmes. I mean, that guy, that's a very creative man.
I heard they're making a movie about
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Playing
DiCaprio's going to do it. It's going to be a Scorsese flick.
I know. Don't say that.
I am
That's
wondering, I like, how are they going to do this? Because after everything I've read, and I've read enough about the guy and seen a couple of documentaries, at least one about him. This is going to be a hard R. It's going to be good. It's going to earn its rating.
And here's the thing: is they're gonna do the sensationalized version of it. There's been a number of different accounts. The amount of people that he killed varies from, like, I want to say 5 to 30. It's so open, like, as far as the details are concerned. That
the only reason he got caught was because the World's Fair was in town.
Yeah,
and he couldn't help himself and committed more
to the same, but just
more killings.
A 3 on the scale of what they're trying to get to a 10.
So I'm wondering if they're going to set it in the setting of having the World's Fair going on. Well, he does this because that's how they caught him. But I think, just want to know.
I think what they're going to do. I think that's going to be what they're going to do. They're going to give a little bit of introduction to who he is. I think, like, the first 30 minutes is going to be a very introduction of who he is, how he got his house, and then I think that it's probably going to be, okay, they find the body. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a dark who's done it. Like,
I'm assuming
it's
going to be basically what Gangs in New York was to that actual era and historical events.
Yeah.
Is, it's going to be the same kind of thing.
I agree.
It gives you the feeling. It gives you kind of a couple of the events, but mixed with a lot of fairy tale.
I think the fairy tale around him would be nice because, I mean, if you do a hard whodunit, I mean, half the people that are going to the theater to see the film will know who H.H. Holmes is, and they're going to be like, well, obviously it's the innkeeper that's killing people.
So you think it's going to be more, say, like a tale about Jack the Ripper, where there's a lot of mystique around him, and less about, like, you don't see him as much, or because there's a couple of ways they can play this. I mean, because I was thinking it was going to be a hard whodunit, but James has a good point that it could be more more kind of a darker tale versus, they see the guy kill him, and then there's, slow discovery. How do they do it?
I mean, dear God, don't make it the Demon Barber.
More like Jack. More like
dude. I was going to say it's exactly going to be Sweeney Todd. We know that's going to be the Scorsese version of Sweeney fucking Todd.
As long as there's no fucking dudes singing. And not fucking Johnny Depp. By the way, if they choose Johnny Depp, I will never watch it.
No,
ever.
I heard they actually picked the actor for it. I just don't.
Yeah, it's
remember.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right.
And I really hope it doesn't turn out like Tusk, a movie that sounded interesting until you saw clips and you're like, fuck it.
It actually
What were you
was interesting
expecting?
for what it was, but
Did you
obviously
read the
Scorsese's got a
description,
big
John?
budget
I expected it to be a little bit different than what it was. I'll be completely honest.
You know what? I was listening to his podcast the entire time that he was thinking about doing it in the first place, and it's exactly what I was expecting it to be.
Well, yeah, see, the problem is I had no context, so I was basing it off of a little bit of information, and that little bit of information.
Going into that movie cold, man.
That little, because I saw clips, because I was like, okay, curious, and that little bit of information was way out of left field. It was If the movie was in California, I was in Missouri, so I was way off from what I heard it was.
Oh god.
It was like, oh god, I'm hoping it's good because it's such a good story. It has such a lot of rich storytelling that could take place around such a horrific event. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Is there any movies?
Well, it's got so many. It's got a couple of key points that you need to hit, but beyond that, it's like dealer's choice, man. How do you want to tell the story? There's no wrong answer.
See, I actually think James hit the head on the nail. Is the fact it's going to be they find the body of the woman around the World's Fair, and it's about kind of discovering, okay, what's happening here? Maybe there's some murders that have been happening that we don't know about.
Yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a cat and mouse kind of thing, cops and the killer.
And I hope instead of being like a hard whodunit, it's a little bit of more the mysticism kind of, that feeling thrown into it. I think it'll add to it. But I'm looking forward to it.
I'm thinking more of like an Alex Cross sort of like everyone knows who the bad guy is, but will they catch him in time to stop the next murder?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not, but I have a feeling that's what they're going to do because that way I think
Scorsese always has an interesting way of twisting the story up a little bit. So he's got good and bad. I mean, James hates him more than I do, and I'm not by nature a big fan, but he did The Departed, and that movie's almost fucking perfect.
I haven't seen The Departed, but of course I haven't had a lot of time.
Get the fuck out of here.
I haven't had a lot of time in the last 2.5 years.
We did a fucking movie review show. How do you miss a movie like that?
I've had a kid for the last couple of years, so that's how.
Hang on, I gotta look at this. You really think that Scorsese's gonna take it over?
Who's doing it?
That's what I'm pulling it up.
Because what was it?
See, I got the documentary came up.
It could be. I'm curious to see how good it will be.
No, he's kind of gotten it.
So, is there any movies? Have you guys watched anything new in the last couple of weeks? I mean, the one thing I've been waiting to see is I finally got my hands on a copy of Fury, so I want to watch that. And I haven't had time to. But that was 2014.
I want to see Venom, but I'm not jumping for joy at it.
So I've watched some.
Yeah,
YouTube.
I saw that one a few days ago.
How was it?
That was all right.
I saw some clips
on it. It was pretty fun. They actually kind of got the inner monologue down pretty good, I thought.
So was it fun?
The movie itself was kind of so, but it was. Oh yeah, it was totally fun.
So okay, question on the scale of on the Spider-Man scale, was it Tobey Maguire or the new kid?
Well, this has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
No, I mean like level of camp, because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was super campy, and the new guy was
near that. This was
was it like the new kid?
It was the sort of earnest approach and not really camp. They went for more of the edge, like I was going to say Deadpool, but nothing's Deadpool.
So was it closer? I don't remember the new kids, but I really like the new kid. I've half of the new Spider-Man
Tom
movie.
Holland. I love that kid.
Because he's a mouthy Spider-Man. I mean, he's the Spider-Man I envision, the one who doesn't shut up.
Right. That's definitely him.
Because I saw bits and pieces. It looked kind of campy. The internal monologue from the YouTube clips I've seen doesn't seem to be on the level of Dune. So it seems, I liked that. I can see what most people don't. I'm definitely going to see it when it comes out on iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, I rent a lot of things on Amazon Prime these days, man. That's been my kind of go-to.
Part of my problem is I go to work at 4:30, so by the time I get home, the only thing I want to do is fucking sleep.
And I'm still kind of pissed
Yep,
off
fair
at
enough.
Ryan trying to back up Scorsese. What were you talking about again?
Well, like movies, like
I'm not kidding. It's bugging me now.
I wanna
I'm ready to
see-
start ripping
Look,
into Scorsese.
I'm just saying, like I'll give credit
I'm
where
putting my
credit's
phone
due.
away from me now.
That's please. We've done episodes and episodes of that in Real Flicks Reviews. I kind of
you
want
got to bring
to
up the shit name.
I kind of want to see the new Aquaman movie, because there was the live action, there was the cartoon Aquaman movie that actually made me like the character. Instead of being this squeaky clean kid, it was this guy who's rough and tumble, and maybe
was
kind
this
of want to
one
see
that
it.
I missed? I mean,
Well, there's
was this one that came out like with Wonder Woman type thing?
The cartoon?
Like,
No,
yeah,
it was. Yeah, actually, yes. So what it was
I must have missed that.
it was with Aquaman, and Aquaman's brother, cousin, uncle, whatever it is, took over Atlantis.
I saw that, the Throne of Atlantis one.
That's it. And then the Atlantis attacked the whatever they call it, the land. And it was a pretty good story, and it gave Aquaman some much needed depth, in my opinion.
Yeah, I missed this one then.
Because that was the
Yeah,
one.
it was pretty good actually.
It gave him depth I thought that that character needed.
Well, it came out 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, and I missed it, huh?
And so when seeing that, I want to see the new Aquaman, because Jason Momoa adds a different flair to the character that I don't think it had before. So I'm kind of excited about seeing it.
Yeah, I actually really like Jason. He did a Netflix show called Frontier. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
No.
You guys got to
Not to
look that
mention
one up.
fucking Khal Drago. So I mean, let's not forget
No,
that.
no. Like, go look up Frontier. That's a really good one. It's them.
I keep meaning to watch that actually.
I've heard of it, but I haven't had
They're
a chance.
basically dealing with.
Is it the fur traders?
Yeah, the fur traders is what we're getting into. Anyway, but he does an amazing role in that. I'm actually was kind of bummed that they kind of did some spacing out of the show, because I'm sure he was filming Aquaman. But I really dig the show. I think it actually got canceled.
Netflix doesn't hold on to shows very long,
Yeah,
which is probably smart on
well, I
their
heard
end.
it was going to get canceled, and then they released another season, and I'm like, all right,
No,
so
what-
what's going on now?
Well, what probably happened is that was already in the can by the time they decided to cancel it.
Well, they're hinting at another season.
Well,
4.
I think they have a unique position where they can really hold off on a show and let it find its audience. You know what I mean? Like, they don't ever have to take a show down off of Netflix.
Yeah,
You can just literally keep adding shows. So if a couple of years down the road, it turns out 1 billion people are watching this show, you better believe they're calling those actors again.
All right. Well, they did a season 3, and there's still people pushing for season 4. So he might come back to it. So I hope they do, because it's a really good show, and I like his character in it.
Yeah, I mean, because Jason Momoa was probably, and I haven't seen the whole Super Friends movie, because I just didn't want to.
Friends.
That's what I'm calling it. I refuse to call it what it actually is called, just because that's what it was. It was that level of cheesiness. And by the way, it was still better than the half I've seen is still better than Superman and Batman, but not by fucking much. But I got to see Cyborg, one of my all-time favorite underrated characters. Thought they did a bang-up job on that. Considering I figured it was going to turn out like the Green Lantern movie.
Which one?
The live action. They actually did a fairly good job, but I just don't like superhero movies at this point, so it has to be something.
Yeah,
for me
that's
to see.
the sad thing is, like, when they first started doing the live action superhero movies, I was all for it, and now it's to the point I'm just like, stop.
I think what it turned out to be, and
That's why I'm not rushing to theater to go see Aquaman.
I think what it is they're going for the guarantee. Which, by the way, this is a great
We've
job.
discussed it.
Yeah, this is a great chance for our friends at like Shunk Films. This is a great time for independent movies independent movies and directors to show, hey, you instead of getting this tentpole shit, how about stuff with context? But by the way, if you don't know who Shunk Films is, check out A Girl and Her Gun. Great short. We did it for Real Flicks Reviews. They also have one called The Cell that I really like.
Anyways, but
Cell, the movie?
No, well, it's a short film that they did. You'll have to see it if I can.
I was thinking of that weird ass. I want to say that was Jennifer Lopez. If I remember right.
No. This is look them up. If I can remember, I'll send you a link.
Hey, speaking of random sort of recommendations, a buddy of mine when I was visiting my folks recommended me a show called Escape at Dannemora. It's a new Showtime series, and it's got Benicio del Toro,
The Mumble King.
yeah, and what's her name? Shit, one of the Arquette sisters. I want to say Patricia Arquette. And
You're right.
But yeah, he was saying it's amazing, but it's getting dope reviews on just about everything. But it's about a prison escape, basically.
What's it called again?
Escape at
Escape
Dannemora.
at Dannemora. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just, it's Showtime exclusive, I assume?
It's Showtime exclusive, yeah. And it looks like
here's-
there's only 6 episodes out so
here's
far.
the description. An employee at a prison in upstate New York becomes romantically involved with a pair of inmates and helps him escape. By the way, did this fucking happen in real life?
I wouldn't be surprised.
This is a similar
sure it
story like
happened
this.
more than once.
There was a female guard that helped 2 inmates escape. Don't know where it was.
Yeah, but this looks like it's set.
Is it a period piece?
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of period.
Ryan, do you know it all?
No, I think it takes place in like 2015 or something like that.
Oh, really?
I wonder if it's based off a true story, because there's one that
Yeah,
I remember that actually
Limited
happened.
series based on
No,
the
yeah,
stranger
right,
than
yeah,
fiction account of a prison break in upstate New York, summer of 2015.
Yeah.
So maybe
So
this
yeah,
is.
I guess it was a true story.
I've been really digging period pieces lately. So anything that's a semi-period piece, I've been kind of wanting to see.
Well, this is 2015, so
Yeah,
That's a
not
period.
old enough for me. I was alive. I mean,
What period are you looking for?
1900s.
Frontier.
Yeah, I might have to check it out.
Black Sails.
yeah, Frontier might be a bit before 1900.
Well, like, anything before 1900s, then,
Well,
I don't
I
want
mean,
to
are
see.
we talking about, like, oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't want to
17th
see any
century,
pirate movies at this point because of Johnny Depp, so I'll leave it at that.
No, fuck you. You got to watch Black Sails, dude. That's the definitive fucking pirate thing ever.
Yeah.
Yo
yeah.
ho, yo ho.
Yeah. Speaking of shows that I just came across, what was that one I just sent you to go watch, Ryan? What was it?
The Journey of Natty Gann.
That was a period piece. I just told you to watch it on Netflix. Or
Which one?
God damn it!
He's asking you what it was called.
I know. I can't remember the name of it.
That was hilarious.
Oh, hey, it's on my Facebook. I forgot I posted about it. Oh, God damn it. I posted a bunch of shit. What was the one I told you to watch, Ryan?
I don't know. I'd have to go through my text, I guess.
Oh, that's probably an easier way. I'm like trying to find an easier way. God damn it. I started with a D and I can't think of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Damnation. That one's actually really good, too.
How old is that?
Not that old. I think that it came out last year. Hold on.
Sounds familiar, but maybe.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, anyways, it's right there. That one's a really good period piece, as far as I can say. And that one, I really dug it. It's very violent.
Seth
But I like it.
Davenport is a man masquerading as a small-town Iowa preacher in hopes of starting a full-blown insurrection against the status quo. Focused on his mission, he is unaware that an industrialist tycoon has hired a professional strikebreaker named Creeley Turner to stop the uprising by any means. It sounds like a bad novel.
You know, it may have been based off of a bad novel, but it's actually a damn good show.
I mean, that sounds like a
And,
Star Trek episode almost.
I'm trying to remember the character's name, but it's got the guy from Black Sails that shows up in it. Hold on, it won't take me very long. He
By
was
the way,
one of the main
that
guys.
reminds me of the movie, the episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation that had, was it the Casino Royale or something like that?
What?
There's an episode. There's an episode of Star Trek: Next Generation where these aliens end up hurting or killing or doing something to these Earthlings that went way far out in the galaxy. So they found this planet. And they made a real life version of the book that one of the guys was reading, and the book was really bad, full of cliches. And the Star Trek Enterprise guys go into this, and it's a story about how the fuck they get out of it. It's a really good episode. It takes place within the 3rd or 4th season. Something like that.
But Ryan, so it's got Charles Vane from Black Sails.
Oh, okay.
Zach McGowan. He makes an appearance in Damnation, and that's why I thought of it, because he mentioned...
Isn't that the guy from High School and Musical?
Hell if I know. I didn't watch that shit. You think I actually
Somehow
watched
doubt
that
it.
shit?
I don't know.
You gotta ask my brother that. I don't watch that crap. I'm not making it up.
Which brother?
Eric.
Okay, that was not the one I was gonna
I
peg.
showed you those. He has like a big old thing of just like DVDs, and he's got like High School Musical in there. And what's the the dancing movies? What the hell are those called? The break. God damn it!
The only dancing movie I know is Break and Electric Boogaloo, and those are well away from the modern era.
No, it was like
There was those Step Up movies.
Yeah, that crap.
jeez.
It was like those.
Yeah, your brother's probably trying to watch him so he can get girls, and that's the least of his issues.
Well, I actually think this guy.
Yeah,
was...
God forbid somebody ever call him out on it.
Oh, I did. I was like, "What the hell's all this shit?"
You might be the exception to that fucking rule.
No, honestly, at pretty much any time, I'm around Eric, I'll harass him about stuff. So he gets pretty much harassed by everybody anytime I'm around him. His mom gives him crap, so I mean, it's. Oh man.
Oh, I guess he wasn't. I was thinking one of these guys was from.
I saw the trailer
Banshee.
for was it Ms. Marvel or Mrs. Marvel or whatever it is. I
Oh,
finally saw the
yeah.
trailer.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
No. So have you seen the trailer for that?
Oh, you mean Captain Marvel?
That's it. Whatever the fuck it was. It's a character that I generally don't care about. But it
I'm
looks.
still laughing at Ryan pulling out that TV show off his top of his head.
I saw it.
Hey, dude, that fucking show is great. Have you seen that show?
Not
I've
yet.
heard-
I'm
I've
not
heard-
in the mood for a comedy yet.
I've heard really good reviews.
Oh my god, that show's amazing.
I don't know. It might end up being like, Bright, though.
So have you seen
Bright,
the trailer,
the,
the Captain Marvel?
The wrestling show.
Oh, no, yes, I have. Yeah, they released a teaser from whatever a month ago.
So what'd you think of it?
I mean, dude, I'm gonna watch all the fucking superhero movies. All right,
Eventually.
You're a superhero whore. That's what you are.
I mean, yeah.
He's a super whore.
Yeah, I mean, what should I expect from the guy who loves super? I mean, come on. You had me at
That
tentacle
show
porn.
was a fucking
Oh, you
great.
had me at tentacle porn? I didn't think that.
That was
You
when I
got
was
John's
done.
interest with tentacle
That
porn.
movie had me at tentacle porn. But
That's
apparently
pretty much.
You guys have weak sensibilities. I don't know.
Well,
Just
come on.
watch too much anime.
Sorry to offend your delicate nature.
Offend me? You kidding? Out of everybody I know, I'm the only person I know who saw Cool World in theaters. So I'll watch almost anything, but Super was too much for me.
Watch Cool World
Yeah,
again.
I think you're being overly harsh.
I think I would
I
watch
don't think
Super again over Cool World.
I would
any
rather
day.
watch Cool World because the movie's shorter.
Hey, at least the chicken Super's hotter. Just saying.
You mean the part at the end? Yeah.
You have no idea how bad my fucking feelings are hurt that you said you'd watch Cool World before Super.
I know. I was expecting that to go the other way.
I mean, really.
So
Just sitting here fucking crestfallen.
So this should make you feel better. I was watching YouTube a couple of days ago. YouTube fucking spoiled the ending of Red Dead Redemption 2 for me.
Oh, bummer, those bastards.
So
I've been trying to fucking slow play the whole damn thing so I can talk to you about it later.
So I was.
I'm not even there yet. I'm still out hunting shit.
No, yeah. I was looking up something for it because something happened, and so I found
He
some.
got a bounty.
Well, no. I was looking up something else
Instead
and
of becoming a mass murderer like me,
well,
he
yeah,
pays
so
it off.
I found out a way. There's a couple of spots that had some gold. So like, okay, so I watched the one video. And then all of a sudden, there's all these like spoilers on what happens at the end, and they're in the fucking description. Like ending of it's like we're the spoiler kings. I've spoiled more movies for and I was like, God damn it! I was purposely like slow playing the game.
Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever said spoiler alert ever in the years
Not,
doing this.
not in the descriptions.
I've only done it tongue in cheek.
Yeah, John's done it a couple times.
And always afterwards too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Spoiler.
alert. No, I was kind of pissed, but I kind of figured that would happen. But it is kind of neat. There's more secrets to the game than I initially knew of. Like, because I found $1,100 worth of gold, which is like, okay, awesome. So I paid off a bounty so I could explore an area because I got tired of walking 10 feet and dying.
So, Ryan, I paid off my bounty. Right? So then I go into town, and then I'm leaving town, and I start blocking this jackass with my horse so his cart couldn't go. He shoots at me, I kill him. Guess who gets a fucking bounty?
yep.
Why?
Because you're you.
Because I defended myself against some asshole who wouldn't wait?
Yeah.
Because
Basically.
Oh, by the way, I love doing that. My favorite thing to do is I'll go on the road and riding next to somebody on a horse, and I'll talk shit to him. I love it. Like I'll do it all the time. I'll have these guys go, "What are you looking at?" And they'll pull the gun, and I'll shoot them, and that's half the fun of the game. Oh, my favorite thing though right now is the cop carts.
Oh.
Those are fun. I'm innocent. Twat.
You know what? You ever get those guys that run out of the bushes and they're from like they broke out of a chain gang or something?
Oh,
Yes.
My favorite thing lately has been taking them back to jail.
Oh, you could. I never thought about that.
You just lasso
you can
them up
just
and take
hog tie
them.
and take them right back to the fucking sheriff's office.
So
Do you get any reward?
Yeah, you get like $7. It's totally not worth it, but it's hilarious.
So I freed somebody and then shot him in the head. And then I freed another guy and let him run a bit and shoot him in the head.
Oh.
So the next thing I want to do is I want to get one of those guys and put him on the train tracks.
So, Ryan, you know the mass murderer guy?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I took him back to the police station, left him at the police station, untied him, and then left. So they had to fight him and kill him.
So
Nice.
I heard there's the Ku Klux Klan in this game. Is that true? I've heard
Yes.
some. So
I haven't come across them yet, though.
I've heard some interesting stuff like I haven't come across. So I'm like, oh, cool, and I get to screw with people more. Because I really, because my goal at some point is to tie somebody up and have a train run them over, but I haven't. By the way, the trains don't run all that much in this game.
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to fucking get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because every time because in Red Dead Redemption, the first one,
You could track the train.
yeah, and they were all over the place constantly. I've stood there waiting for like 30 minutes in real time, and I swear to God, I didn't see a train. It's like, well, I'm getting bored.
Just dog tie him, leave him there, and start hunting.
I wish you got like what do you get in 360 when you did stupid shit? Achievements. I wish there was an achievement for that.
There is.
Well, there was in the original.
Anyways.
Yeah, there's the Xbox One doesn't have achievements,
So-
really. Not like the
The-
No, they
360.
do. They just didn't have one for that.
So I saw a meme about Red Dead, and it said Red Dead Redemption, the hillbilly version of Skyrim.
It's totally true.
It is. Like, that's an
Yeah.
awesome description.
Except I'm not gonna get kicked. Except I'm not gonna get kicked out of the Mages Guild for taking something that's fucking mine. I'm still pissed at that.
I still like the one where I was sitting there and talking to Ryan's girlfriend Amber a while back, and I kept telling her, like, you just get bored and you'll start killing random people and it'll just happen. And then Ryan tells me one day, he comes home, he's like, why are you burning the Mages Guild? That was like my favorite thing, was trying to tell her you're gonna get impatient with certain people and just start killing them. She's like, no, be nice.
My
no,
favorite thing,
you won't.
My favorite thing in Oblivion with James is he'd put on I think it was the gray cowl.
Yeah.
And he would stand up top of one of the towers and wait till they discovered where he was, the guards, and he would start killing the guards, and it was hilarious. It was so cute watching him try.
Watching them try to get me.
Yeah, and then occasionally one would pop up. You're like, how the hell did you get up here?
Ryan knows exactly what he's talking about because I showed him the spot.
It's like, dude.
Yep.
Oh,
That was a pretty fun spot. You just sit there and just snipe them. I just thought it was funny
Good
that when I
spot.
put the gray cowl on, my bounty went down by a lot.
yeah.
By at least 100,000 gold.
It was always funny when the guards would stop him and like, don't do it again. Like, huh? They don't know who you are.
I just looked towards the end of the game. I'd just be sitting there, and I'd have like 50 guards charging me, attacking me, and I'm just standing there. And John's like, "What are you waiting for?" For my spell to charge up.
At least this time it didn't take 20 minutes of booster spells to get use that spell.
No, because I made a downplayed version of it.
Well, you didn't want to spend 20 minutes in real time drinking potion and casting spells.
I did that a few times. I do love those games. Oh, and then the other one where I think I reset my ability, so I just let the guards pound on me just to get my armor skills back up.
Oh, by the way, talk about Bethesda. They're in deep shit because of Fallout 76. They've let a lot. I haven't played it, but the few things I've heard of is it's nowhere near the quality of Fallout 4. The graphics suck, and the microtransactions are incredibly expensive.
How are they microtransactions if they're expensive?
Because they're for little things in the game.
I'm just saying.
As far as I know, microtransactions don't have to be cheap. They're just transactions for things in the game that just happen to be expensive. You know, like
okay.
you buy.
Speaking of which, Ryan, are you still doing the online shit with Red Dead?
You know what? I haven't in a couple of weeks. I did the beta for a few days, and there's some things they need to work out in that. I started to immediately question the viability of doing that game online. You know, there's not a whole lot of like, you know, when in GTA online was great because you can even just kind of wander around. You know, you get your new cars, you want to fly your new plane, you can just kind of go sort of tool around. You know what I mean? Do the stuff you usually do. In this one, you're really not getting anything new.
So all you do is hunt with a buddy.
More or less, it's like I throw you into this game naked, and you're just happy to get a fucking hat and a t-shirt.
It's that bad.
So, well, there just wasn't a whole lot to sort of, you know, work for. It started out really grindy, so they had to immediately fix the economy because it was all lopsided, and people were spending way too much time trying to make just a little bit of money. And then you just started getting griefed by everybody. You know what I mean? Like me and a buddy sitting there trying to play it, and we're just trying to go do a couple of missions, and we get shot by somebody. So of course we retaliate. And then next thing you know, 20 minutes later, like, okay, let's get back to that thing we were just doing.
Sounds
and then
like
you
James
take
and
5 more steps and somebody else shoots you, or that guy keeps chasing you. So it doesn't really, it's not providing a whole lot of, hey, let's work togetherness.
I have a feeling it's gonna, because I bet GTA Online wasn't great first when it started, so it's probably gonna take a while.
But there was more, you know what I mean? There was more going on.
There's more to do.
In this one,
because
your horses, I mean, you can kind of upgrade your horse, but
to
for most people who literally just got done playing the original game, it's like, dude, I already had all my cool shit. Now I have to work just to get halfway decent shit. Like,
well, to be honest, what are you going to do? Are you just going to hunt with your buddies? I mean, there's really not a whole lot to do in this game versus GTA. Half the fun was just running over people.
Well, that's the thing, is there was a lot of people to run over. In this one, there's a lot of land to cover. You know, a lot of open land to sit there and ride, you know, with your buddy across the land, which is, you know, fun for the first little bit. But then you're like, okay, let's do something. You know, let's do a mission, and the missions are, you know, okay, they're fun, but they're all pretty similar. You know, in GTA, it's like, okay, one mission you're jumping out of an airplane to go jump into a military base. Another one, you got to drive a car over to this other thing, or, you know, smuggle some drugs into this thing. Everything you're doing in Red Dead Redemption Online is a version of riding a horse and shooting people.
Yeah.
I'd try to rob a train, but I'd figure that there's like 50,000 other people trying to rob a damn train too.
Exactly. So good luck getting to that train.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I mean, if they start doing private servers and just letting friends, like friends of 5 or 6 people get into just their own server without having to worry about everybody else, I think that would be great.
So is it open world?
And then still do public stuff for whoever wants it.
So out in the world, you just see everybody? Because what a lot of these games do is the towns and stuff, you see everybody. But once you get outside of the towns, you don't see anybody who's not within your party. So do you run into everybody?
Yeah, I mean, all of their blips are on the map.
You know what I mean? So no matter where you are on the map, close or far, you can see them on the map, so you know where everybody is. The same way it was in GTA. But it turns, I mean, basically when people see you on the map, they just beeline for you. And when you're not in the mood to just kill everybody.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this show on a positive note.
I don't like that bullshit.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, as always, thank you for listening.
Goodbye.